Alright, and we we have a real treat here. We're jumping into a 1v1 with PilotElf versus Brainy Smurf. It's on Conti. It's a 2v2, or a 2v2 map, I believe. 2v2 size map. Brainy spawns at 9 with Mace in the teal pieces. And then, where did PilotElf spawn? I can't quite see him. Oh, right, he's orange. Sorry, I have trouble seeing that on the minimap. In part of this challenge, Pilot claimed that he could beat Brainy with the deleted villager. And he's done that. He has spawned with Roman. They're pretty close together. There really isn't any hiding. And Mace is a pretty nice civ for this, especially given Brainy's style. We get a little bit of lag here, but let's not worry about that. So Pilot, as Roman, will have a slight advantage in terms of economy because they have the economy bonus. It's a really strong economy bonus with the cheaper buildings. It just makes all of your timings much faster. But Brainy has Mace. Mace has one really distinct advantage in the Tool Age, which is their villagers. No, the villagers. All their units get +2 line of sight. On a map like this, that's going to be an extremely valuable bonus. I'm excited to see how this will turn out. Pilot has opted to start with his granary, whereas Brainy has opted for a 2 shorefish storage pit start. He has a very severe map advantage of this. This is just so strong. 5 shorefish along this coastline. All for Brainy. But Pilot has already scouted this, so I don't think it's going to be very secure. If Brainy had put his pit here to start, he probably would have a severe advantage in this game. But he has not done that. He's scattering his gazelle. This is really important here. This gazelle might be needed in order to maintain vill production. You lost already. Pilot throwing out the trash talk early on. It looks like Pilot must have scouted this storage pit. But Brainy, not slow. I think no, he doesn't find the house, but he knows where it stopped. So he has a pretty good idea of where Pilot's economy is going to be. Buildings do not stop artifacts, so you know that was a villager who just found it. Pilot doing some shenanigans with that artifact. It looks like there's just 2 artifacts on the map total, unless I'm missing one that a player already controls. Oh, the 3rd artifact here. Okay, so 3 artifacts is an interesting amount, but I don't think that's going to come in to any sort of importance, but except for the early scouting. And it looks like they just traded this. Oh, and Brainy with the Mace villagers is going for the Vill Rush. Here we see it. These are, what does he have? 9 vills coming forward. Pilot does not yet have his storage pit. Let's see if Pilot. This is something I should just note. This is something that Brainy is kind of famous for. This is his style. He will, in small, close maps, he will aggressively move forward with all of his vills, and he has found this house, and he's just going to start wailing on your stuff. What this does is this just kind of puts you off balance. What's happening is at home, Brainy has enough vills on food production to keep spamming vills, and at least 1 or 2 vills on wood to maintain house production, and he's just going to keep building villagers. This is called a peon rush, a villager rush, however you want to talk about it. See, Pilot forced to build a new house in order to maintain villager production. Brainy can just keep hitting the houses. That's the threat that looms. If Pilot doesn't react, Brainy will do this. The proper response is to match vills in the fight and add 1 because of your closer spawn time, but maintain food production. Pilot has opted to not do food production, and he's going straight for the battle. This is funny. This game might be over really quick at this rate. Pilot not microing his vills properly. Oh, now he is. Who's won this? Pilot has won because he had a severe advantage because he put all of his vills. He only had 2 vills on wood that whole time. He had none on food, and Brainy backs off, but he's coming back with another contingent of 8 villagers. This is very, very intriguing. I think. Okay. So Brainy's once again threatening the house. If Pilot loses too many houses, he just will not have enough wood to do anything. He won't have enough wood to build a barracks. Meanwhile, Brainy pumping vills out, sending them to the front. A big engagement here. No real advantage in terms of terrain. Pilot picking an interesting spot to fight, but he has a severe advantage in numbers, and Brainy will get mopped up this time. Every last one, leaving 7 vills to go back to berries. Pilot throwing out some more trash talk. I love it. So there's 2 vills from Brainy, still smacking away at that house. And Brainy's down to, I think, 4 vills? It looks like this 1v1 is one might think one-sided. Not in like a rude way to Pilot, or to either player. That's just a little trash talk. I think that Pilot's got this. He's and here comes the dock. A dock this early in terms of a Vill rush and the counter to a Vill rush means that I think Pilot has a distinct advantage here. Brainy forced to retreat, maybe losing another Vill. Pilot taking down another. Does he micro his weak ones back? No, he has 2 weak ones in that fight. Oh man, repairing the house because, I mean, at this point, you can't afford to let that house go down. You don't have the wood to do so. Oh man, this is exciting. Brainy down to just 3 villagers. Pilot on maybe a dozen. I don't want to count. 7, a dozen, yeah. And I don't know how Pilot can come back from this. The timeline is going to be all over the place, but with Pilot having a severe advantage, even with the killed Vill, well, GG, I'm screwed. The GG comes out from Brainy. What a funny series. Not even a series, that's just a funny 1v1. Best of 3? I'm hoping for best of 3 here. Why game so slow? Brainy blaming the game rather than himself for his defeat. Brainy unable to stand up to his challenge. Just for context here, Brainy challenged Pilot to this 1v1 indirectly by claiming that Pilot was a noob and that he could take him on in any 1v1 scenario. So that's really exciting. That was hilarious. The game, and Epid has a great point. This game was over when Brainy Peon rushed. Probably. Especially with that start, man. Look at those shorefish. I mean, Pilot did scout it out with the artifact very early. He saw all of those shorefish and that woodline. So even if they went to Tool, I think Pilot had at least a tactical advantage of knowing where to